will complete the solution to this. Okay, so it is basically unconstrained problem. Okay, so no, 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 no. What is this? Yeah, so this is minus plus 1 by x2 x1. Fine. So these are Lagrange multiplier equations. Is correct? So what do we do now? So what do we do now? Huh? Okay. So is that right? Correct? You can substitute in it's cube, huh? It's cube. Okay. 2 how much is this? 64. It's a large number, huh? Are you getting all this? What is this? So x3 to the power of 7, correct? Huh? How much is it? No, x3 to the power of 7 is so x3 is 4 point. Okay. x2 plus huh? y plus
3.866.
3 point, that's it, okay. We are not checking for the second order and all that, right? So basically it is okay. Anyway, it has to be a maximum, right? Y minus some 6 minus, okay. So let us take a more practical problem. Is this clear to everybody? Yeah, please take down this problem number 23. Consider a solar thermal application. Consider a solar thermal application. Consider a solar thermal application where the hot water produced by a solar collector. Consider a solar thermal application where the hot water produced by a solar collector. Consider a solar thermal application where the hot water produced by a solar collector is kept in a cylindrical storage tank. Is kept in a cylindrical storage tank and its use regulated and its use regulated and its use regulated so that it is also available during night time, and its use regulated so that it is also available during night time, so that it is also available during night time. The storage tank has a capacity of 4000 liters. The storage tank has a capacity of 4000 liters. And convective losses from the tank have to be minimized, and convective losses from the tank have to be minimized, and convective losses from the tank have to be minimized. And convective losses from the tank have to be minimized, full stop. Radiative losses can be neglected, radiative losses can be neglected. Radiative losses can be neglected. Ambient temperature T infinity, ambient temperature T infinity and convection coefficient H are constant. Ambient temperature T infinity and convection coefficient H are constant. The hot water temperature may be assumed constant in the analysis. The hot water temperature may be assumed constant in the analysis. Solve this as an unconstrained optimization problem in R and H. Solve this as an unconstrained optimization problem in R and H. Solve this as an unconstrained optimization problem in R and H, where R is the radius of the tank and H is the height. Solve this as an unconstrained optimization problem in RH, where R is the radius and H is the height of the tank, comma, using the Lagrange multiplier method. Using the Lagrange multiplier method. Watch out, I am asking you to solve it as a unconstrained optimization problem. There is a constraint in this problem. I want you to substitute the constraint into the objective function and convert it into an unconstrained problem. This is for starters. After we finish this exercise, we will solve the same problem as a constrained optimization problem. There we will get an additional information on lambda. Then we will discuss what lambda is all about, and by the time it will be 250. Okay. Is the question clear? Yeah. No, top and bottom also. Process will be from top and bottom also. I will take attendance. You can just close for 5 minutes. Understand, right? You have to just minimize A. That's all. Correct? Okay. Lateral surface area plus the top area and the bottom area. Okay. (4,000 liters) 10 to the power 1 liter is 10 to the power of minus 3 meter cube. So 4 meter cube. Okay. Correct? Fine. Is it correct? Fine. So our optimum A optimum please work out A plus 13.94, yeah, correct. Anand, you got it? Okay. Now, dou A by dou R okay, always positive, right? Therefore, A plus is a whatever is a minimum. So, if the temperature is constant, the convection coefficient is constant, the height of a cylindrical tank must be twice its radius. So, it will be 4 times its twice, it will be equal to the diameter. Okay. All right. So, application of Lagrange multiplier method in for a very practical problem. Is this clear? Any doubts? Okay. Now, problem number 24. Revisit problem number 23. Problem number 24. Revisit problem number 23. But now solve it as a 2 variable 1 constraint optimization problem. But now solve it as a 2 variable 1 constraint optimization problem. But now solve it as a 2 variable 1 constraint optimization problem. 2 variable 1 constraint optimization problem. Needless to say, you will get the same solution. You have got to get the same solution. Apart from that, you will get something. You will get a new value, new parameter called lambda. What is the story about that lambda? We will see shortly. Yeah, work this out. Close for 5 minutes. Let them work. Okay, so I think we start solving this. So correct. So I will say this is the first Lagrange multiplier equation. So 3 equations and 3 unknowns. Okay. Don't ask me, sir, what happened to A? A finally we will get A. Don't worry, A is the global unknown. We don't worry about that. The unknowns are R, H, and lambda, and then we can start doing that. Dou A by dou R is what? 4 pi R two pi H is it right? So what is the simplification now? This fellow can be removed. Correct? So 4R is equal to 2 lambda RH, yeah? Correct? The second one you can cancel, no? Lambda equal to lambda, that is very good. I like something like that, so simple. Third one is pi r. So 4r what? H equal to 2r, not bad. We are almost there. H equal to 2r. Then r is equal to so not bad at all, 0.86 meters. I know the answer. Huh? Proceed. H equal to 2r. Oh, please put the plus. Lambda 2.335. What are the units of lambda? Very good. What are the units of lambda? Meter inverse. Did everybody figure out this? Meter inverse. What meter square? Area by volume, man. Okay, it's area by volume. Meter inverse. So, where is that 4r coming? Is because of that, okay. So, now we got the optimum A plus, R plus, H plus. We got one more value lambda. We don't know what to do with it. We got it, okay. But now we have to interpret what this lambda is all about, okay. So, we will do one more exercise, okay. I am not giving problem number 25. 24b, suppose we change, okay. So, V suppose V is changed from 4000 liters to 4500 liters, what happens to the solution? Can you work it out? Can you get me R plus H plus A plus? That is why I thought it would be better if you had written everything in terms of the volume and other things here, okay. So, we are trying to interpret lambda. In order to do this, it will be better if we rework the problem with a new volume of 4500 liters instead of 4000 liters. R is 0.89, okay, R plus. What is A plus here? 13 point, the same thing as you got before, 13 point meter cube, meter square. All right, now R plus is good, H plus is 1.88 meter, A plus Abhishek, A plus please do not feel lazy, these 5 minutes will be very critical, this is very insightful. 15.48. Yeah, I hope everybody has got this. So, what we have done is we rework the Lagrange multiplier we rework this solar water heater storage problem by using the Lagrange multiplier method for a 2 variable 1 constraint problem. By changing the volume from 4000 liters to 4500 liters, we are trying to see what is happening to the R plus, the H plus and the A plus. So, we got the new values of A plus, okay. Is that fine? Now, please calculate the change in area divided by the change in volume. 15.48 minus 13.94 divided by 0.5 meter cube. Are you getting the point? From 4000 liters, if you change to 4000 liters, you are getting a new optimal area. For 4000 liters, you got an optimal area. I am asking you to take the difference between the two optimal areas divided by the change in the volume. This is 1.54 divided by 0.5. Is it correct? Is it 15.48? No, it is not correct. 15, huh? Sorry, this is how much? 15.09. So, delta A will be 1.09, 1.15, correct, divided by 0.5. How much is this? 2.3 meter inverse. What a nice result. What is the value of lambda? What is the delta A by delta V? 2.3. So, lambda is nothing but the change in the objective function with respect to the change in the constraint. Lambda is called the shadow price in operations research. Okay. So, lambda is the Lagrange multiplier it is also called the sensitivity coefficient. It is also called the shadow price. If I relax the constraint from 4 meter cube to 4.5 meter cube, how much additional area I can get? What is the sensitivity? In fact, it comes from the governing equation itself. So, delta y minus lambda delta phi equal to 0. So, this is nothing but lambda is del y by del phi, but finally we have made it a del y by del phi. How this inverted delta becomes delta, we will see in one of the later classes. Okay, conceptually you can figure out that it is basically del y by del phi, the change in the objective function with respect to the change in constraint. If there are m constraints, each of these lambdas represents the sensitivity of the objective function to that particular constraint. In this case we had only one constraint, so the sensitivity of the area to the constraint. So, lambda is a very important physical parameter, lambda has its physical interpretation. So, when you work using the constraint optimization approach with the Lagrange multiplier method, apart from getting the optimal values, you also get to calculate this sensitivity coefficient, which is helpful to evaluate whether you can relax this constraint, whether you can perturb the optimal solution to get better results. I think we have covered fairly good ground today. We will stop here. If there are any doubts, I will answer. We will go to some more problems in Lagrange multiplier method. We will have the graphical interpretation of Lagrange multiplier, the mathematical proof of the Lagrange multiplier, and 1 or 2 problems. Okay. So, there are no doubts, I will stop here.